Ladies and gentlemen, today is January 22nd, 2026, and that means we can finally say it. Happy 24th birthday, Caitlin Clark. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the CC Report, and today is January 22nd, 2026, and that does mean that it is Caitlin Clark's 24th birthday. And today I thought it might be fun for us to take a little bit of a look back at Caitlin's career, what she's done in the past 2 years, in her first 2 seasons as a WNBA player, and try to put into context what we've seen out of this young woman and compare it to some of the other greats of the game as they had entered their 24th year, greats both past and present. I also think that it might be fun for us to take a little bit of a look ahead into what might be in store for Caitlin's 24th year. But first, let's take a look backwards into Caitlin's last couple of years in the WNBA, because she really showed us some tremendous skill and some tremendous talent, and she put up some numbers that are right up there with the greatest players in WNBA history through their first 24 years as well. And to help us visualize this, I've put together a little bit of a graph for us to take a look at together. This is a list of great players past and present. Many of them are Hall of Famers. Many of them are future champions, future MVPs, future multiple all WNBA, very famous names that we see on this list. And we can see how Caitlin ranks amongst the greats. All of these statistics have been taken through each one of the players' 24th birthday. So we're not looking at career statistics for people like Nneka or Breanna Stewart or A'ja Wilson, or completed careers of people like Diana Taurasi or Sue Bird. We are taking a look at these statistics as each player hit their 24th birthday, a snapshot of what their career points per game or rebounds per game, other statistics were at the time that they turned 24. And it's a very interesting list if you take a look at it. First of all, if we were to sort this list by points per game, which is what we're going to do right now, we see that actually through their first 24 years of life, the all-time leader in points per game is actually Nneka with 21.7 points per game through her first 24 years. This was very surprising to me. I didn't expect this, but it turns out that when she was a member of the Los Angeles Sparks throughout her first few years in the league, she was the focal point of the entire offense and of her team's rebounding capability. So they ran everything through her, and as a result, she averaged this massive 21.7 points per game. Next up, we have Breanna Stewart. Cappie Pondexter, who turned 24 in 2009, averaged 19.6 points per game. That is an all-time leader amongst guards in terms of points per game. Then after Cappie Pondexter comes A'ja Wilson, who averaged 19.4 points per game through her first 24 years. Then Paige Bueckers' rookie year, in which she averaged 19.2 points per game. Maya Moore, 18.9, and then Caitlin Clark at 18.5. You see that is the third highest ranked points per game amongst all-time WNBA guards. It comes in ahead of such players as Candace Parker, as Diana Taurasi, as Napheesa Collier, Aaliyah Boston, Angel Reese, Sabrina Ionescu, Sue Bird, so on and so forth. And just as a side note about this particular list, Lisa Leslie turned 24 in 1997. The league wasn't in existence yet, so it was not possible to include any statistics from her WNBA career because when she was 24, the WNBA did not yet exist. However, many of the other greats that were in WNBA history are represented on this list. In terms of rebounds per game, we can sort by rebounds per game, and we see that Angel Reese has the top spot for rebounds per game at 12.9. This is a massive gap between Angel Reese and the second place on this list, which is Candace Parker at 9.5 rebounds per game. This is almost a 3.5 rebound difference between Angel Reese and Candace Parker, which just goes to show the dominance that Angel Reese has displayed all-time WNBA dominance on the glass. And so it's no wonder that Angel Reese fans find her case for greatness to be so compelling. After Candace Parker comes Tina Charles, then Breanna Stewart, then Nneka, Aaliyah Boston, and it's as you would expect. You don't see a guard on this list until the 14th rank, which is Sabrina Ionescu at 6.1 rebounds per game. The second highest rated guard on this list, however, is Caitlin Clark at 5.5 rebounds per game. We all know that Caitlin is an excellent rebounder. It turns out that she has turned in the second highest rebounds per game for a guard age 24 in WNBA history. So that's a surprising statistic. She's out rebounding figures like DeWanna Bonner, like Dearica Hamby at this point in time, and all other guards on the list. So we see that Caitlin out rebounding such figures as DeWanna Bonner and Dearica Hamby, even as a guard. Very impressive stuff. And then in terms of assists per game, you would expect Caitlin to be very high on this list. And indeed, she is at the top spot. It is 8.5 assists per game versus Sabrina Ionescu's 6.2 assists per game. And then Sue Bird comes in third at 5.8 assists per game. Again, this just shows Caitlin's dominance in the assists per game field as well. It is a dominant statistic for Caitlin, almost as dominant as the rebound statistic is for Angel Reese. My argument would be it is more difficult to get an assist because you are reliant on a teammate converting the assist than it is to simply get a rebound. So this assist statistic is much more impressive, in my view, than the rebound statistic is even. And then we can sort by other metrics as well. We have steals per game, blocks per game, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, free throw percentage. But the real meat of the spreadsheet right here are the points per game, the rebounds per game, the assists per game. So we're seeing all these numbers, we're seeing all these statistics, we're seeing how Caitlin stacks up in terms of the major categories. But let's take a look and visualize that in terms of position play. So if we take a look at the guards, for example, we have Caitlin Clark at 18.5 points per game, 5.5 rebounds per game, and 8.5 rebounds per game. Although there may be some players that outpace her in some statistic or other statistic, the composite rank for Caitlin, that is the rank for her points per game, the rank for her rebounds per game, and the rank for her assists per game. The composite rank for Caitlin is the greatest guard of all time through age 24 that we have seen in WNBA history. She is a higher rank in more categories than any other player on this list. Second is Sabrina Ionescu at 13.4 points per game, 6.1 rebounds per game, and 6.2 assists per game. Number 3 on the list, Diana Taurasi, and then number 4 on the list is Paige Bueckers. And just again to demonstrate, in terms of points per game, we're going to sort the spreadsheet. We see Cappie Pondexter 19.6, Paige Bueckers 19.2, Caitlin at 18.5. So that would make her third. In terms of rebounds per game, we're sorting this from top to bottom. Caitlin ranks second in this list to Sabrina Ionescu, who Caitlin is ranked above in terms of points per game, and then assists per game. We know that Caitlin is ranked at the top. So in terms of the composite ranking, we've got Caitlin sitting at the top in terms of overall guard play. She's put together the most impressive guard through age 24 play that we've ever seen in the WNBA. Let's take a look at some of the other categories. In terms of centers, we only have 5, so it's a little bit difficult to sort through these. Asia Wilson, Tina Charles, and Aaliyah Boston each lead their own respective categories. Asia leads in points per game, Tina Charles leads in rebounds per game, and Aaliyah Boston leads in assists per game. And then below them, Sylvia Fowles, and then Lisa Leslie, of course, doesn't have any statistics because the WNBA did not yet exist. And then in terms of forwards, we see that Candace Parker and Breanna Stewart are tied at the top spot, followed by Nneka, and then Maya Moore, and then Angel Reese afterwards. So that's how the position battle shakes out. Let's take a look at overall the composite rankings. And here we see that Breanna Stewart, is the top spot of the composite rankings overall in terms of all forward, center, and guard inclusive. So Breanna Stewart, through age 24, the most impressive WNBA player that we've seen in history. Her composite ranking is 7.0. She ranks second in points per game, fourth in rebounds per game, and 15th in assists per game. Candace Parker bringing up second place. Her points per game, she ranks 8th, rebounds per game 2nd, and assists per game, she ranks 12th for an average rank of 7.3. And then Caitlin Clark, the top ranked guard on this list, 7th in points per game, 15th in rebounds per game, and 1st in assists per game for an average rank of 7.7. And then you can see after that goes Nneka, Paige Bueckers, Maya Moore, Aaliyah Boston, Sabrina Ionescu, Cappie Pondexter, and A'ja Wilson, rounding out the top 10, and the list goes on from there. Now, I can already hear some people crying out about Caitlin's turnover problem, the fact that Caitlin had so many more turnovers than anybody else, all these other statistics. So I went ahead and ranked them with those statistics included as well. And when you wait to make sure that you're not treating a point per game, an assist per game, turnover per game, when you're properly weighting them, I do have the weighted ranks. But before we get to them, I just want to be completely transparent and show my work. This is the weighted score formula that I used. Every point per game is 1 point. Rebounds per game is 1 point. Assists per game, slightly elevated. Steal per game, even more elevated because those are more difficult. Blocks per game, the same. And then minus turnover rate at 0.75. So we're penalizing for turnovers, we're weighting properly, and here is how the ranks weighted shake out. The top ranked player in terms of weighted rank in the WNBA history is Nneka Catchings. She turned 24 in 2004. Her weighted score is 35.09. In terms of her statistics, she had 13.1 points per game, 7.2 rebounds per game, 3.1 assists per game, 2.4 steals per game, 0.8 blocks per game, and 2.5 turnovers per game. So where she really starts charging up the leaderboard are the steals per game and the blocks per game. But overall, when her defense is rated and her offense is rated, she ends up taking the top spot. After that is Breanna Stewart. Candace Parker is next. A'ja Wilson is next. Tina Charles is next. You would expect for people that have a lot of blocks and a lot of steals to benefit most from a weighted ranking system, and indeed that is the case. However, 6th is still Caitlin Clark, guard, the top-ranked guard and the top-rated guard play that we've ever seen in the league, even when weighting statistics for turnovers. After Caitlin, it's Angel Reese, then Paige Bueckers, then Maya Moore, then Aaliyah Boston, then Napheesa Collier, and on down the line. So even when waiting for turnovers and properly weighting blocks and steals, you still get Caitlin coming out with a top 6 ranking overall and being the top rated guard through age 24 that the league has seen. And just to help us put in perspective, even though it was painful last year seeing Caitlin be injured through much of the season, seeing her slump through much of the season due to her injuries, even seeing all those things with Caitlin in her second year, the brilliance of her celebrity and the brilliance of her skill and her star power have given us a gift in that it's given us the best guard play that we've ever seen in the league. This is not to discount what Paige Bueckers has done. As you can see, she is ranked 8th in the weighted statistics. This is not to discount what Angel Reese has done. She's ranked 7th in the statistics. In terms of overall ranks, without those weights, you still see Paige Bueckers ranked 6th. You still see Angel Reese ranked 11th, tied with Diana Taurasi. That's pretty good. And so this is the type of thing that we're saying in terms of statistically, we are in a golden age right now with Angel Reese, with Paige Bueckers, but without question, the brightest star of the bunch is Caitlin Clark. And just on her 24th birthday, I thought it would be fun for us to take a step back and appreciate what she has given us already in her first 2 WNBA seasons and through her first 24 years of life. Now let's take a look at some of the things that we can look forward to in her 24th year. And the first thing that I want to talk about is the sneaker. Because the sneaker is likely the first thing that we are going to hear about. We've already heard about Caitlin talking about her sneaker on the New Heights podcast. I've already done an episode about that and what she said, but I just wanted to play again the video in which she talked about some of the things that we can expect from her sneaker. So let's take a look at that and see what she has to say about that.
Sometimes I'm like, man, I wish these things grab better. I wish they had a different mold on the bottom of them. Like, were you super involved in that process as well?
Yeah, for sure. And like, obviously I'm pretty like picky about what I wear. Like I like a certain two Kobe models. So like I knew whatever I was going to put in my own shoe, it need to be like the equivalent of that technology or even better. And it's going to be even better. I'm not going to say exactly what it is because I think it'll get people excited about it. And I think even like the Chinese market, like I was talking to some people at Nike, like over in China, like they'll cut open the inside of the Kobe's and like show people the technology that's on the inside of the shoe because they're like that means a lot to them. Like they want to know what they're getting out of the product.
Right.
Wow.
So I thought that was like really fascinating.
Cut that open? That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. So it better be made well, but it will be.
I was about to say.
I've seen some videos where they'll like cut them in half, and you can like look at like a complete cross section of the whole thing.
So there's like a couple Kobe's that they have only the technology in like the heel of your foot and not the forefoot of your foot, and I can like tell a huge difference when I play in those. Like it feels like I'm running on hardwood, so like I've really struggled to wear those. But for other people, they obviously love them. But for me, it's like I know I need that technology everywhere. So that's honestly been a huge part of, the process and the creation of the shoe is like it being comfortable and exactly kind of what I need. And the technology that we're going to put into it isn't anything that they've ever put into a basketball shoe before. So I'm really excited about that.
That's exciting.
This shoe is going to be a monster. It is going to be the most popular and the most important shoe that Nike has released, definitely since the LeBron shoe, and maybe even dating all the way back to the Jordan shoe. And in terms of sales, it is going to be off the charts. And just listening to Caitlin talk about the features that this shoe is going to have, it is going to be next level in terms of the evolution of basketball footwear. And that's really important, not only for our consumption, but also for Caitlin's consumption, because obviously she is going to be wearing her shoes for the rest of her basketball career. And so she wants to make sure that she has the best. And she makes it clear in this clip and in others that she has certain high expectations for any shoe that she wears, including the Kobe's that she wears, including the colorways that are so popular in the league right now. When this shoe is released, it's going to be an atom bomb in terms of sales. It's going to be an atom bomb in terms of celebrities and athletes wearing them on the court. We've already seen that her CC colorways of the Kobe's are the most popular colorways that are being worn on WNBA and NBA courts right now. This is only the beginning. Once Caitlin's shoe comes out, it is going to be massive. And so just to give us an idea of an expected timeline, I've heard some people speculate that maybe the next step is going to be a Super Bowl commercial revealing the shoe. I think that there definitely is going to be some sort of Super Bowl commercial featuring Caitlin Clark. There definitely was last year, and this year already we know that it's going to be the year of Caitlin Clark in terms of commercials and marketing. So I don't think that it's a stretch to say that we are going to see a commercial with Caitlin. Whether or not that'll be her shoe reveal, I don't know. It does fit the timeline, however, because if she is going to be wearing those shoes on the court for the WNBA season, which we've just learned today is going to begin in early May, that means that they are very likely already in production. We are probably going to get full details within the next couple of weeks. That would fit the Super Bowl timeline. We're going to have some exclusive sneak peeks. People that are sneakerheads or people that are sneaker insiders that have released shoe details in the past, they will get their hands on the shoe. And then we will see Caitlin wearing the shoe and most of the Fever teammates wearing the shoe in preseason games and training camp except for Aaliyah Boston and Sophie, who are contracted with Adidas. We are going to see Lexi wear the shoe all the time. She has already confirmed that she is going to be wearing the CC1s. She's not signed to a brand for now, and that means she is a shoe free agent, and she's already confirmed that she's going to be wearing them. Kelsey Mitchell is a Nike athlete. She almost certainly will be wearing the CC1s as well. Many other WNBA athletes that are Nike athletes are also going to be wearing the CC1s. That includes Paige Bueckers, who likely will have a Dallas Wings themed CC1 custom made for her at some point. We're not going to see A'ja Wilson wear them, even though she's a Nike athlete, because she has a shoe of her own. Same for Sabrina Ionescu. But everybody else, we will see all the Nike athletes wear CC1s, and probably many other WNBA athletes wearing CC1s. As far as the NBA is concerned, the CC1s are going to be everywhere. Any Nike athlete that is under contract, that is an NBA player, that does not have their own shoe, will likely be wearing some version of the CC1s at some point. And Caitlin's already talked about how there are other colorways that are going to be released that are going to be thematic to other sports teams, such as the Kansas City Chiefs. I would be shocked if the Iowa Hawkeyes didn't have a black and gold CC1 variant for them to wear. We're going to see a lot of other teams have colorways as well. So that is the first thing that we're going to see, is the shoe be released. That is going to happen probably within the next month. We will know much more about the shoe. The second thing to talk about in terms of what we can expect from Caitlin is what we can expect from her on the court. And the team really set expectations high last year on her birthday by releasing this video. Caitlin Clark shot 50 for 54 from 3 on her birthday, and let's just enjoy for a little bit, shall we? Because it's definitely a sight to behold. And she's just gonna keep shooting, and she's just gonna keep making them over and over again. And here's the thing: at this point last year, Caitlin was not hurt. She had been in the lab for literally months at this point. At this point, she had been working hard, and they released this video as part of a campaign to set expectations and to lay the groundwork for the Now You Know campaign, which was very in your face and kind of setting expectations extremely high. Obviously, it didn't work out that way for Caitlin because she became injured. However, even here, you see her shooting form was on point. You see that her shooting form was ready to go, and she's only gotten better since then. Rumor has it that she's been working with Steph Curry's trainer, working on her shooting form. She has changed her physique a little bit so that she's not as large, but still is able to be physical enough to take the abuse of a WNBA season. And hopefully she's a little bit wiser in terms of being able to manage injury and manage herself a little bit better than she was last year. And because of that, this is the sort of expectations that we're going to be able to set for her in terms of performance. But there's just one other clip that I wanted to show and to talk about, and that's a clip from Post Moves with Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin's pick and roll teammate, just talking a little bit about her relationship with both Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell. And I think it really speaks to the level of bonding and maturity that all three of them have reached. And so let's take a little bit of a listen into what Aaliyah has to say about Kelsey and Caitlin.
I'm also going with 2. Can you guess who they are?
No.
Caitlin and Kelsey. I love those girls right
I
there.
I knew that.
You could have, I feel like you could have guessed that.
I knew that, but I knew that.
I feel like you could have.
I don't know why I was thinking college too.
Oh, I was just thinking.
Okay, you're right. You're right.
But
you're a big girl now.
Caitlin, yeah, I am. I'm grown. I'm grown up. Caitlin and Kelsey, those are my girls. Like, I love those two so freaking much, and I love playing with them. It's crazy. So those are my 2.
Caitlin and Kelsey, those are my 2 girls. I love them. I love playing with them. And I had posted about this a little bit a couple of days ago, but it's not just that we have 3 players that all 3 of the names appeared on the spreadsheet that I had up a little while ago. All 3 of them are all-time WNBA players already. But it's not just that they are on the same team. It's the relationship and the bond which all 3 of them have. That is the type of combination that is legendary. It is rare. It is something that we do not see often. We see teammates that work well together sometimes on the court. Off the court, who knows about their relationship? But these 3 individuals, we know that they love each other. We know that they have each other's backs. And that is so important for team chemistry moving forward. And all 3 of them are going to be pillars and centerpieces of the team for a long time. We're talking about teammates and the type of chemistry and the type of greatness together. We're now talking about Jordan and Pippen, Stockton and Malone, Shaq and Kobe, LeBron and Dwayne Wade. You know, those type of teammates, that type of chemistry, that type of bond is what we're talking about here. Now, I'm not saying that those comparisons are apt at the moment. Obviously, Caitlin is still 24. Aaliyah is still 24. They've only been together for 2 years. They haven't won anything yet. They have to win things in order for them to be ultimately mentioned in the same breath as some of those other duos. But just like when LeBron went to Miami, we all knew it was kind of a matter of time. We know that it's a matter of time with Caitlin and Aaliyah because we see it on the court. We see their chemistry growing day by day. And understand this. Last year, Aaliyah Boston was the only person in the playoffs that could go toe-to-toe with A'ja Wilson and win and ultimately fight her to a draw in the playoffs. A'ja Wilson's 30 years old. Aaliyah Boston just turned 24. She has 6 more years to attain the sort of status and the sort of peak that A'ja Wilson has attained. A'ja Wilson's a great, great, great player, but she is at a different point in terms of her apex and where her apex is than Aaliyah Boston. She's already at the apex. Aaliyah Boston is at the bottom of the bell curve right now, and she only has up to go. So the same deal with Caitlin. Caitlin is not at her apex. She is at the bottom of her bell curve, and she can only go up from here before she reaches that peak at 29 or 30. And Kelsey Mitchell is at her apex right now. So we've got 3 teammates, all of whom have nowhere but up to go. And ultimately, I truly believe that we're going to see the type of teammates, Jordan and Pippen, Stockton, Malone, that type of teammate, Magic, Kareem and Worthy, Wilt, Weston, Elgin Baylor, etc., etc. That is the type of teammates that we're going to be talking about in terms of the 3 of them when all is said and done. And when all is said and done, their statues are going to remain outside of Gainbridge forever and ever, because that is the type of air we are talking about when we talk about them. I truly believe that, and the best is yet to come. So ladies and gentlemen, that has been the CC Report. Today is Caitlin Clark's birthday, and I truly hope that she has one of her best birthdays ever. She certainly earned it. And just for all of you out there, have a wonderful day as well. Celebrate Caitlin's birthday as well. I certainly will. And ladies and gentlemen, if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you in the next one.